take it back to church, shall we, bitches? Let's take it back to church. So, in the Bible is actually a book that was never written by Jesus. I know, amazing information. It was a collection of stories that have been passed on through word of mouth for a very long time, and it was very earlier on in century 1 or whatever it was, I don't know. Look, I'm shit with dates, but the information is correct. And it was a bishop that said this is the official Bible, but there was loads of other stories at the time that you don't hear about, loads of other stories at the time, right? And all we ever hear from the Bible is about Mary Magdalene. And what do you know about Mary Magdalene? Nah! Oldest whore in the game. Mary Magdalene was not a whore. She was not a prostitute. She was not a slag. She was not a slut. In fact, the Catholic Church came out and apologised for ever suggesting that she was back in 1960-something, because it was a bishop that allowed that message to be spread. There is no mention. She wasn't a prostitute. She wasn't a slag. She wasn't a whore. Even if she was, it shouldn't fucking matter. She wasn't. She actually was a woman that came from great respect and from a great family and from great wealth. Mary Magdalene was like the Kim Kardashian of her day. Her eyebrows were insane. She had a lot of money, right? The dad, Mary Magdalene's dad, was like the Philip Green character of his day, like, but less of a cunt. Everybody kept their pensions. That was Mary Magdalene's dad. She lived in this glorious tower, right? And she had all these people fix her nails, fix her hair, whatever. And these books and these stories have been found about her since then that have revealed the truth about her, right? They've been verified. They weren't like put in an oven with, you know, a tea bag and whatever. They've been verified, so they are actually legit, but they were hidden. And this message and this story of Mary Magdalene makes way more sense to me. So you all know her as slag, slut and whore, but actually she wasn't. She was wealthy. She grew up in a tower. Now, one day, the town was very small, and this new Jesus guy came around and he started making loads of noise for himself in the town. And the dad was like, "Mary, I want to meet this Jesus guy. Apparently he's really interesting, great philosopher, and he can do amazing things at barbecue with some fish. So I'd like to invite Jesus round." Mary, I don't know why he speaks like Bernie, it's just the voice that he's got, right? And Mary was like, "Oh God, stop trying to marry me off, yeah. I don't want an arranged marriage, Dad. Like, all my friends got married when they were 12, I'm 24. When I find somebody, I'll marry him, but until then, I don't need your intervention." And he's like, "Mary, please, Mary. I'd like you to be nice to our guest, Mary. He might be a very nice guy for you. You don't know, Mary." "Oh, how tall is he?" 5 foot. "Oh, I'm not dating somebody that's 5 foot, Dad." "Come on, Mary. Well, what does he do?" He's a carpenter, Mary." "Oh, basic. I'm not dating a carpenter. I want to marry like a social influencer or a YouTuber, for fuck's sake. I've told you this before. He needs to have at least 12 million subscribers, not 12. Fucking hell." Mary wasn't interested, and the dad was like, "Mary, you need to be nice to our guest. You need to be nice to him." Mary was like, "Fine, I'll be nice to him, whatever. When he comes around, let me know." Mary didn't care. Now, Jesus showed up, right? Mary looked outside her window, like Rapunzel, looked outside her window, saw Jesus. She was like, "Oh, fuck's sake, he's Jewish. I fucking hate the Jewish guys. Oh, I hate the fucking Jews." Mary hated the Jews, right? Because Mary was like non-religious, so she was like a Gentile. Basically, she's like a pagan. Basically, she had like a poster of Savage Garden on her wall, right? So she wasn't into religion at all. She was all like sun, moon and stars and chicken cherry colas, all that shit, right? So she saw Jesus the Jew. She was like, "I fucking hate the Jewish guy. I'm not dating a Jew." Now, here's what's interesting. The Catholic Church also perpetuated the message that the Jews killed Jesus. But if you look at history and look at what's going on at the time and just read a bit more about it, you also know about the Romans. Now, we learned about the Romans in schools because they built all of the roads and they fucking fought with lions and all that shit. And what you always know about Jesus, you go, "Oh, the Jews killed Jesus." But actually, it wasn't the Jews killed Jesus. In context, the Romans were in charge. The Romans ruled the land. So at the time of Jesus' death, it was the Romans that were in charge. And the Romans gave the call to kill Jesus. It was the Romans that said, "Let's execute Jesus." And the guy that happened to execute him happened to be Jewish. But that doesn't mean the Jews killed Jesus. It means the Romans killed Jesus. But nobody ever blames the Romans because they're like, "Oh, but the M40 is very helpful." No. Leave the Jews alone. So it was the fucking Romans, right? So Mary's there, and she's like, "Oh, fucking, she reads the Daily Mail all the time." She's like, "All these Jews coming over here, taking our jobs, whatever, not interested." Right, didn't want to meet him. And the dad's like, "Mary, you come downstairs and meet Jesus, otherwise I'll take away all your inheritance and your tablet," right? So Mary's like, "Oh, fuck's sake." So in the book, in the narrative, in the book, in the story that you find, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it's just making it more accessible. It's pretty much what it says. In the book, it says that Mary was like, "Fuck the Jewish guy, not dating a 5 foot carpenter, fuck that guy." And then on the next page, it says, "Mary came down in a wedding dress to greet herself as the bride of Christ." And you're like, how bipolar is this bitch? Like, what is going on here? And you know there's nothing missing, because this page says IV, and this one says V. Love that bit so much. I just think it's really pretty. People don't realise, because they're like, "Oh, we just want jokes," but you don't realise it's the attention to detail that really makes a fucking show. Like, it's the IV and the V, and people are like, "Well, we don't get it. It's a Roman numeral joke." Anyway, you sausages, you don't even care. So, by the way, It's 5 to 10, and most of you might think the show's an hour. It's not, it's 2, so. I'm tired too, I know. So when I get to the end of this bit, if you need to go, feel free to. I mean, you'll miss out on the ending, but you should have read the duration bit. So Mary's like, fuck the Jewish guy, comes down in a wedding dress. And you go, why does that happen? You go, well, actually, what happened is that history has all been translated from a male perspective. It's always been men that translated historical texts and historical scriptures, but sometimes men aren't very good at translating, transcribing or understanding female behaviour, aka the classic example that they don't always get a woman's language or what she fucking means. The classic example is a woman goes, I'm fine, like, read between the lines, dickhead, read between the fucking lines. Like, she's clearly not fucking fine. So you're like, well, I don't understand why 1 minute she hates him, the next minute she comes down in a wedding dress, until you go, well, let's revisit that story, but look at it from a female perspective, and then you go, well, what situation would I do that in? Well, I'll tell you what situation that I do that in, where I'm like, fuck the guy, and then come down in a wedding dress. Fuck, I've done it a million times, mate. Because what do you do when you have to go on a date with somebody that you've got absolutely no fucking interest in, and you're like, fine, if I have to go on the date, I'll go on the date, but I'm going to do everything in my power to be as batshit crazy as possible to scare the living shit out of him. So Mary goes upstairs, she's like, bring me the dress, bring me the fucking dress, bring me the dress, right? Puts on the wedding dress. Mary comes downstairs like, dan, dan, da, da, dan, dan, da, da, dan, dan, da. Lifts her veil, takes one look at Jesus, nipples get hard. She's like, holy shit, you're beautiful. Oh, wow, I'm in love. Jesus was like, nah, queen, it's cool. I heard what you said about me. I've got negative energy coming off you. I'm not interested. She's like, no, I'm a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I just read the Daily Mail all the time, but I only read it for the horoscopes, but it must be subconsciously, subliminally getting in. I didn't realise. I've never met a Jewish guy before. I only ever grew up in this tower. He's never let me out. I've never met anybody who doesn't look like me. I've never met a guy before. You're amazing. Please stay. I'm sorry. I just was an idiot. Please stay. And he was like, no, it's cool, Mary. I'm going to go. Like, I just feel a bit weird being here now. Listen, Mr. Magdalene, it was really nice meeting you. If you ever need any more shells putting up, you let me know, all right, mate? And it was a shame. I was really looking forward to meeting you, Mary. I heard a lot of really cool things, but you take care of yourself, right? I'll see you later. Jesus left and Mary cried. She was so upset. She's like, I can't believe it. I ruined it. I never meet anybody I fancy. I'm always a single one. All my friends have been married since they were 12. And then one time I meet the perfect guy, and I have to ruin it by being a giant racist. This always happens to me. It always happens to me. I want him back. I don't know what I do. What I do to get him back? I'll do anything to get him. I'd fly him to the moon and back if he'd be my baby. Now, luckily for Mary, a few days later, there was a knock at the door and Jesus came back. This very quickly became like his USP, right? So she answers the door. Really? That was it? Really? I mean, I know it's hot and tiring, but that, really? It's taken me fucking an hour and 2 minutes to get to that bit. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Listen, it is 10 o'clock now, so if you need to leave, go now. Go now or forever hold your peace. Go on, don't worry, no, it's fine, because I'd rather you go now, because then I can concentrate. Because otherwise I get distracted, and don't, if you're there going, oh, should we, just go. I don't need that, oh, I'm not sure. Okay, just go. So, is he coming back? Oh, you silly sausage. Okay. Everybody else cool? Okay. So, oh, really? Yeah. She's at home. She's at home. Everyone loves Bernie. Bernie's a fucking legend. Bernie's mountain dog. Fuck me, she's my best friend. She's my doctor. I love her. Normally I bring her on stage, but it's too fucking hot in here. Have you seen how much I'm sweating? Do you think I'm going to abuse my child like that? No, mate. No, I've left her on a cold tile floor with a fan in her face and a bowl of chicken in front of her. That's the kind of mummy I am. Fucking come in here, watch her. She's not a performing monkey, is she? It's not like her mummy that fucking comes here and does it for you anyway. Fucking doesn't even sold out. I'm still fucking here, right? No. That might be all right for me, but it's not good enough for my doggy. She plays to sell out crowds only. That's in her contract. I love that. I've just fucking dropped some amazing shit about religion, and all you care about is my fucking dog. There's going to be some sex bit now, so you'll like this bit. So Jesus comes back, right? I know, you're not expecting it, but this is the Bible that you should have read. So, Jesus, can you see my knickers from that stance? Can you get further back, can you? No. What do you mean, yeah? He said, yeah. You can. Well, look up, babe. That was really funny. Right. It's too hot. We're so tired, aren't we? It's been a long fest for you all. I only got here yesterday. I don't know what my excuse is. So anyway, the sex bit. I fucking gave you a chance 5 fucking minutes ago. Lock the fucking doors. Lock the fucking doors. Sit the fuck back down. Bunch of fucking pussies. Yeah, fucking a plague on both your motherfucking houses. I'd be tripped down the fucking stairs. Not seriously, just enough to annoy you for 6 weeks that you have to wear a cast everywhere. Does anybody else want to leave? Good. Back to the sex bit. Right, I've lost time, so I have to hurry up. Basically, Jesus comes in for an oat milk flat white. That's a whole bit that I've missed, but I just got to the punchline. He comes in for an oat milk flat white, and they just start fucking there and then. Bam, 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 bam. And the dad's like, not on the kitchen floor, Melly. Oh, at least you're having a good time. And they have an amazing sex, right? They have amazing sex. And actually, that was the message. That's what was supposed to happen, because it's normal to have great sex. It's normal to meet somebody that you love. And actually, love is always the answer. The answer to every great question, to every problem, to every solution, is always throw great love at it. And when it comes to, you missed nothing, mate. I was fucking ad-libbing for the whole time that you were gone, so you've actually come back in at the right place. Basically, Jesus and Mary were just fucked. The dad's gone into another room, and I'm about to keep going. So, right, it's always make great love, right? And actually, that was the thing, because what do you do when you connect with somebody on a spiritual, physical, emotional, mental level? You feel incredible. And if you're straight, right, you have this divinity because you make great love, and hopefully you make creation, so you create divinity. Each and every one of you is divine because it's in nature, so it is divine. Nature is divine, it's natural. Also, fucking to be gay is nature and divine. To be gay is very fucking natural. Do you know why we have the fucking gays? Very simple very simple answer. The gays are for a couple of reasons. Number one, they are natural to stop us from overpopulating, right? So the gay community stops us from overpopulating ourselves, right? It's too many people on the planet, burns out. I mean, they haven't done a very good job because we're fucking it anyway, so gays need to be a bit more gay, mate, because, you know. And number two, we survive throughout history by villages and networks. That's how we survive. It takes a fucking village, and we survive by being villages. And villages only survive by keep procreating. That's why nature made procreation the most enjoyable, pleasurable act. It did that for a reason, to ensure its fucking survival. That's why sex is so pleasurable, in order to ensure our survival as civilization, as humanity, right? So you've got men and women having sex all the time, but sometimes men can be dicks, right? So what do you end up doing? Fucking arguing, falling out, and then no one's having sex. So what do you do in that situation? The girl's really stressed, the guy's really stressed. So what do you need? Somebody that's an amazing listener and fucking epic on a night out. Take you away from the problem. And that, my friends, is why we have the gay community, because you go out with your gay best friend, you come back, you make up, you start fucking again. So actually the gays have ensured our fucking survival. That's why we need the gays. They are natural. It is in nature because it is natural. And the Bible made the gays bad, because if you make the gays bad, then they're not populating. Then who are you going to create an army to go out and send all your shit and do your bullshit for you if people aren't creating an army for you to fucking use and abuse? So leave the gays alone. They're natural and normal, and Jesus loves them too, but that bit was taken out of the book. Well, guess what? I've just told you, I'm putting it back in. So, it's just political, right? So they have amazing sex. And what do you get when you have amazing sex with somebody? When you connect with somebody on a spiritual, physical, emotional level, and you are getting fucked so hard that you see like a bright white light go partially blind, and you're like, oh my God, this is epic, right? And you know when you're getting fucked really properly that you come so hard that you get really strong, which is weird, because in the daytime you can't do a burpee, but here you are turning into the fucking Hulk. It's amazing. And when you are in that place, you are creating a higher consciousness. You're opening your third eye because you're creating a higher consciousness, because you feel great love, you feel orgasmic. And that is what every drug that you ever take wants you to get to that place, is to repeat that feeling of orgasm. That's what we all fucking take drugs for, in order to feel that. That's what our whole life drive is to feel that orgasmic and in that state. And when you are in that place, you don't have room for, no, they can't come over, no, they can't stay at my house, no, I won't share my food. Well, it's their fault they're homeless. Well, it's their fault for getting on the boat in the first place if they didn't want to wash up dead on the beach. No, send them back. They're not in room. I don't have room for them. Not in my fucking house. No, this is mine. That's yours. Tough shit. I'm going to look after my own. You can go fuck yourselves. You don't have room for that. When you're getting fucked properly, that you're squirting all over his fucking face, mate, and you're so fucking excited that your balls are about to bust. When you're coming that hard, it is actually a divine given right that we've been given. That's a gift. And when you're coming that hard and feeling that third fucking eye and higher consciousness, you're like, mate, let them fucking in. Open the fridge. There's plenty of food. Keep the fucking keys. They can stay as long as they like. There's enough shit to go around. Because there's always been enough to go around. But we've been told we need to keep it. And actually that was the message, and doesn't that make a lot more fucking sense? But how do you control people if they're having higher consciousness and feeling great love? You take away the orgasm, you make it a sin, you repress it and you narrow it. And by opening the third eye, by keeping it closed, you can control people more and tell them to be scared that if they do the wrong thing, step out of line, and there's a big, bad, invisible person that's going to kill them and they're going to burn in hell for all eternity. It's bullshit. We were always meant to get on our knees, but it was never for prayer, it was for cunny fucking lingers. That was the word. That was the word. And that message, don't think I can't see you leaving, bitch. Fucking turn your phone off next time if you don't want to be noticed. Right? Anyone else? Fucking walks out with a fucking light on. I wouldn't have said anything, but she had the light on, so, you know. And actually, that was a more powerful message. Have great love, share great love, find your lobster. Friends is actually modern day scripture. That's how it should be. That was the message. But it got taken out of context because sex has been weaponized and politicized. And so in the Bible, what you hear about Mary Magdalene is really impressive. She was meant to lead the church. She was meant to lead this story of great love. Sensual, spiritual, great love, to share, to give, to be kinder. You can be forgiven. Everything is good. You can be good again. Please don't berate yourself all the whole time. And what happened was that in the Bible, it keeps part of the story. So Mary saw Jesus first, and she believed. She was the first person to see him. That's how important she was. And she was the one that ran to the other boys that locked themselves in the fucking cupboard because they were shit scared and was like, guys, let me in, he's alive, he's alive, he's alive. The monkey's his uncle, no. Simba's gone back to challenge his uncle to take his place as king. No. He's alive. Oh, Pinja again. I always do liking references in every one of my shows. It's so nice that only a few people ever get it. And right, so she was like, let me in. They were like, oh, fuck off, Mary. Jesus didn't come to our beef with us because of you. And she was like, no, guys, he's alive. He's like, you gotta let me in, he's alive. And they're like, oh, we don't believe you. He's obviously not alive. He's dead, mate. Why don't you just fuck off? She's like, let me in. She's like, guys, I'm telling you, he's alive. He's fucking alive. We don't believe you, Mary. He's not fucking alive. He's dead. Why don't you just fuck off, Mary? Nobody wants you here anymore. And Mary's like, he's alive. And then Jesus appeared, and they're like, oh shit, he's alive. Oh shit, now we see and now we believe. Right? And that was the story that actually she showed that she was more important because she believed. So theologically, she had more power, she had more status. Power? She had more power. I mean, no, and she had more power, so she had more status. I'm back in England. Scotland now. I'm in Scotland. I said I was in Scotland. What you say? I said she had more pay. And this is she ate. Anyway, so Jesus said, and everybody sees it. I can't do it. So she said, right. And so then the message in the Bible, they wrote the text, but they wrote it down in a way that changes everything about her, because they said in the text, oh yeah, she did see him first. Yeah, that is the truth. She did see him first. And yes, we didn't believe at first, which is the whole point of faith. We didn't believe at first, and then we saw we believed. Yes, that is factually correct. But when you coming from her, can you trust her, mate? Oh, you can't believe anything she says. No, you can't fucking think that she can be that good. No, have you looked at her? She's a fucking whore, mate. She's a slag. She's a slut. She's a prostitute. And they diminished her character. They annihilated her character rather than the thing that she was fucking saying, because what she was saying was truthful and powerful. And you had a group of men around a table that suppressed her so they could elevate themselves to look better. And it's the oldest story in the fucking book. When they are annihilating your character rather than the thing that you are fucking saying, you are saying something fucking right, my friends. Mary fucking Magdalene. Right, let's move on. Let's move on.